Good morning, everyone. The Delaware County Commissioner meeting for February 8th, 2021 is now in session. Would you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I am Gary Merrill, President of the Board this year. To my left is Vice President Commissioner Barb Lewis, and to my further left is Commissioner Jeff Benton, who, due to our COVID precautions, we can only get two here at the front, so it's nothing personal. And our clerk today is Jennifer Walraven, and Sarah DeNova is also with us, and our Administrator Mike Frommer. With that, let's begin.
Resolution number 21-90, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held February 1st, 2021, and special meeting held February 3rd, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-90. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-91, in the matter of approving purchase orders and in-now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0205.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-91. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-92, in the matter of acknowledging receipt of annexation petition from agent for the petitioner Rebecca A. Kelly Esquire, attorney at law, requesting annexation of 6.073 acres of land in Berkshire Township to the village of Galena.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-92. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Next on our agenda, we have Director of our Child Support Enforcement Agency, Joyce Bowens.
Good morning.
Good morning. Joyce Bowens, Director of Delaware County Child Support. I'm here this morning to announce that Deputy Director of the State of Ohio Office of Child Support gave us 4 leadership awards for outstanding performance. We received Best Performance Support Order established in a medium-small caseload, Best Percentage Collection on Current Support in a medium caseload, Best Performance Collections on Cases with Arrears, and Best Overall Performance in a medium-sized caseload. 2020 has definitely not been an easy year. Despite all the challenges of COVID threw at our team came together and assisted each other and still continued to help the clients that we serve. And I'm very grateful for their assistance and their hard work. And we do have a few of them here this morning joining us via Zoom. So,
Everybody wave.
so we're still number 1 in the state of Ohio.
Boy, I'd just like to congratulate you, Joyce, and to everyone. You work so very hard, and I cannot imagine what it must have been like with child support in a pandemic like this, and to receive these, and they were awards, not just one, but several.
Right.
And it does wonderful credit. It's just a wonderful honor, and I thank you so much.
Thank you.
You normally have all of them in here with us today, but that's not possible. So thank you for participating virtually. Commissioner Ben, do you have anything to add?
Well, I was going to ask Joyce what impact COVID had last year. It had to make it more challenging. How did the numbers end up?
We were about 20,000, I think, under last year's total. So we
Very close.
still did very good. And then our percentage collections were still higher than last year. So
Really?
yeah.
Oh, they were,
Yeah,
okay.
that certainly had to present some unique challenges.
It was definitely challenging with the computer system that we have from the state. A lot of our computers, of course, don't have microphones and cameras, so it made it hard for remote working. We had to get VPNs, but we got through it. And like I said, if anything positive I can say that came out of COVID is the teamwork that the team did. They all come together. They're all working really well together, and it's just been amazing.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Well, congratulations, and thank you all for continuing to do such outstanding work and be recognized by the state and represent Delaware County very well at the state. That's
Thank
always
you.
good.
I wish we lived in a world where everyone took their, say, family responsibilities serious. You guys would be out of a job, but I don't foresee that happening, but it's unfortunate that we have those who need to have a gentle push.
Yeah.
And so thank you for all you do, and thank you for, I'm sure we're going to have another great year this year, and hopefully COVID's going to be behind us, so,
Hopefully. I
So-
think we're all hoping that.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming,
We
Joyce.
We're not quite finished.
Yeah, as a token to your staff for all the great work, token of appreciation, we have some Delaware County tumblers that have the county logo on them. We just got them.
There we go.
And wanted to, for each of your staff members, so.
Thank
It's
you.
a little token of appreciation and like I said, for all the outstanding work, so.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Really nice.
Thank you very much, guys, thank you.
Do we want to see if any of them want to speak, or we?
I'm
may-
sorry?
We might be able to listen to them if any of them wish to speak, but.
Maybe someone wants to speak. Would anyone like to speak?
Anyone have a comment? I take that as a no.
Everybody's
They're
shy.
not always this quiet.
Thank you guys again very much,
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Stay warm, Joyce.
Resolution number 21-93, in the matter of approving an owner's agreement for Glen Mead Section 2.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion? Vote? Excuse me? You get to discuss first, I apologize.
It's okay if there's no need for discussion, Commissioner. I'm okay with that. But for the Commissioner's edification,
You introduce yourself, that's one.
Thank you, sir. I apologize. Lee Bodnar, the Administrator for the County Engineer's Office. Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning.
As far as Glen Mead Section 2 goes, it's a 26-lot subdivision off Gregory Road in Berlin Township. The construction estimate is $957,800. The inspection fees will total an estimated $38,000. There was no bond agreement for this subdivision, so they will construct and build out the streets, the sanitary, and the storm sewer system on their own. Then the county will pursue or inspect it and move forward from there. So we ask for your consideration and approval.
This is by Berlin High School.
It is, it's right by the
Yeah.
high school,
Okay.
or excuse me, the elementary school.
Or the elementary?
Yes.
Oh,
Near the
okay.
high school.
Yeah.
It's just off Pyatt Road between Pyatt and Gregory.
Oh, all right.
It's real close
Okay,
to
I
high
was
school.
thinking, okay, got it. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 21-93. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-94, in the matter of declaring the necessity for improvements to Lane Road and Berlin Station Road, including the furnishing and installing of culverts and approving plans, specifications, estimates, and setting the bid date for 2021 culvert supply contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
Commissioners, this is for, obviously, a culvert supply contract for the culverts on Lane Road, which is just south of Olive Green Road, and also for a culvert installation on Berlin Station Road, which is just east of the railroad tracks over a stream. The bid advertising will take place on February 12th with a opening bid date of March 2nd. We will schedule this for construction through the summer of this year. This is for the fabrication, delivery, and installation of the culverts themselves, and then it'll be a force account project for the backfill, grading, and seeding thereof. So we would ask for your consideration and approval.
Questions or comments? Vote?
Vote on motion 21-94. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-95, in the matter of approving the plat of subdivision for Berlin Manor Section 3 and Liberty Bluff Section 2.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion?
Commissioners, this Berlin Manor Section 3 is a 40-lot subdivision. It's located right off of Cheshire Road in Berlin Township. Liberty Bluff Section 2 is a 29-lot subdivision located off of 315 in Liberty Township. Both of these plats have been reviewed by Regional Planning Commission and all the regulatory agencies involved, and have met with their approval, and we ask for your consideration and approval as well.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-95, Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-96, in the matter of approving a speed limit reduction on Ostrander Road, County Road 153.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Commissioners, this is obviously on Ostrander Road for a reduction of the current 55 mile an hour speed limit to 45 mile an hour. It's the section between Mills Road and the corporate line. There was a study of the road alignment, and it's all been reviewed and authorized by the Ohio Department of Transportation. So we would ask for your approval on that as well.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-96, Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-97, in the matter of awarding the bid for the 2021 drainage maintenance annual contract for Delaware County.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Yes, Commissioners, this is for a non-exclusive bid award to 5 contractors in relation to the 2021 drainage maintenance annual contract program. It's so that the work can be done by one of those 5 companies. The lowest bidder on each portion of a job will be vetted and reviewed. The lowest bidder will be awarded that contract or that portion or task. And if for some reason they cannot meet the timeline requirements necessary, then the next company will be solicited for bid or for the award.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-97, Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Barton.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-98, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
This is for 11 permits, nothing out of the ordinary on any one of them.
Questions? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-98, Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Resolution number 21-99.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Matter of establishing a new organization key and approving a transfer of funds and supplemental appropriations.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Karen First, Fiscal Manager. The new organization key and the supplemental appropriation is for the Frost Road purchase for EMS Station 7, and the transfer of funds is to the Capital Improvement Reserve Fund, and it represents the fourth quarter casino revenue.
Questions or comments? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-99, Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Brings us to administrator reports.
I have nothing to report this morning.
Commissioner Lewis, I believe it's your turn.
Right. I just wanted to thank both Governor DeWine and Lieutenant Governor Husted, and we received notice from our State and County Commissioners Association that they had actually heard us when we asked them to fully fund indigent defense. And I'm just going to read here from the CCAO policy team. Is very pleased to report that the governor included $125 million in state general revenue funds for indigent defense reimbursement in both fiscal year 2022 and fiscal year 2023. At that funding level, the Budget Blue Book estimates county indigent defense reimbursement rates of approximately 96 and 94% across fiscal year 22 and 23 respectively. Other estimates indicate the reimbursement rate may be higher. Indigent defense reimbursement has been CCAO's #1 priority for this budget cycle. So thank you very much, Governor and Lieutenant
I'd just
Governor.
like to add a comment. As we transition to our public defender hybrid model, I think that's certainly
It's
appropriate and a good timing,
Yes.
and hopefully we'll be very efficient how we do that, and we'll help the process if we are.
yeah, it really will. And that's all I have.
Commissioner Benton.
Yeah, I was going to mention that as well. Again, this is the governor's proposed budget, so we'll see where it ends up in the legislature. But generally, I think the legislature is supportive of that, and we'll get the funding that the governor is promising, which would be great and appropriate. Morpsey Executive Committee met last week. Morpsey continues to move things along. They're very focused on trails for this coming year. They're going to be more and more focused on trail expansion and funding, so that's good to see. I know it's very important to our residents. The nominating committee met and have proposed the same set of leaders for next month's, or I guess it's April, I think it's April, in terms of office holders and committee chairs this year for Morpsey. There was a series of Solar Week videos webinars last week that I participated in. It's very interesting. There's a lot of momentum on solar power. Still not sure about the business model. I don't think the business model is there, but the costs are coming down. The interest is growing. There's opportunities for local governments to participate, for private sector ag owners in particular to participate. And it is gaining momentum, so it'll be interesting to see just how that goes forward and does develop. But again, I think it's becoming more common. Delaware County, I don't think, is particularly a target of the solar farm developers. It tends to be more in the kind of northwest part of the state, where they can get big parcels with a lot of acreage, and then flatter ground is important as well. So anyway, stay tuned. A lot more coming on that. The CCAO call had a call Friday morning with Governor DeWine and Lieutenant Governor Houston. They discussed the budget, their proposed budget. Interestingly, it does have the indigent defense, as we mentioned, but it also has $1 billion for business relief in it, for targeting the industries that were most hard hit by the COVID pandemic last year, the restaurant and bars and hotels and indoor entertainment, that sort of thing. A lot of that goes to those industries. Broadband, a lot of support for broadband expansion in the state, in the budget, which again, I think is a good thing. Broadband has become so important and such a really a necessary utility these days. And they talked a lot about the COVID vaccination rollout. Just the limitation is just supply. I mean, they're getting more and more supply, but it's not going to meet the demand in the short term. So stay tuned as they move forward with getting more supply. So that's all I got. Oh, it also, yesterday was our Bulldog's 10th birthday. So
I didn't follow that last.
it was Lucy, our Bulldog's 10th birthday. So she had a very special day. She rested more than usual.
Yes.
Did she have a surprise party, or was it?
We had a little surprise treats for her and everything. So
Yeah.
she had fun.
I bet she was surprised.
Oh yeah.
I have two things. One is something I'd like for the commissioners to think about, and maybe if with your blessing, we could direct Mike Fromer to move forward with it. And I kind of wrote this out just so I hit all the high points. We've had numerous conversations about how we efficiently provide quality, effective, efficient transportation to those with transportation challenges in our county. I wish I could say I have an answer to how we do that, but I do not. But that does not mean we should not continue to search for that answer. To date, when we have asked for recommendations from various organizations, the answer has been insufficient in finding that answer as well. And with the support of the two of you, I would like to ask that we put together an exploratory group, I don't really have a name for it, to review where we are and how we improve and prepare for our future challenges in transportation throughout this county. And we do have a unique county. It's a little more of a challenge than a typical county, but that does not mean that we should not try to find an efficient, fiscally responsible solution. And I ask that with our administrators' leadership, we put together such a group, and we ask Mike Fromer basically be chair or whatever the proper terminology will be, and that we reach out to the following boards and ask that those boards identify a representative by a majority vote of their respective boards, a person of their choice. And these are the organizations I think that should be an integral part of it, and there might be 2 or 3 others that will come to mind that Mike will identify, but the old data, Delaware Transportation, of course, Development Disabilities, Source Point, Alpha, Mental Health, JFS, again, Mike Fromer to chair it, and as they evaluate any other interested parties that might be beneficial but not immediately apparent. I think we need to, all these groups use transportation in our county in some form, to get representation from all these groups together and ask that, by my arbitrary date, September 30th of this year, to put together an evaluation and hopefully some recommendations about how we can improve transportation, and they all use the services or provide the services. So that's my request, that we consider putting Mike in a position to lead that effort, and I appreciate your comments.
Yeah. I do think it's a good idea. I would suggest too, United Way being on it. Were you thinking just our own? Did you want to bring?
I'm open to the
anyone,
conversation.
yeah,
People that,
right.
any groups that can add substance to the process.
Sure.
And based on my last comment, other interested parties, so if United Way is one of those, fantastic.
Sure.
And I think Mike can make that evaluation.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. We've been talking about this for 2.5, 3 years now, but we need a countywide plan, and we've just haven't moved the ball forward like we want to. So I think it's great if Mike's bored and looking for things to do. I think it'd be great for him to lead it. I would suggest Morpsey and CODA as well be engaged in that.
That's a good idea.
CODA in particular, but
CODA,
Morpsey and
right.
CODA are kind of partners. So, and maybe economic development, some economic development organization, whether it's Finance Authority or Bob Lamb or One Columbus or somebody, because again, transportation is one of the key.
Yeah, we will keep it to a manageable size,
you got
otherwise
to.
we'll.
Absolutely.
But again, I trust Mike will
Yep.
be able to make those evaluations, and September 30th, does that seem a reasonable date? It puts us in front of our budget year if it should impact us in some way that we can't predict.
Yeah.
And having a date, I think, is important, and they could always ask for an
Yeah.
extension if they need it.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
as we all know, Delaware County is so unique and such a unique challenge to provide public transportation, because we're the northern parts very rural. City of Delaware is fairly condensed, and southern townships are fairly condensed, but they don't use public transportation much. So, yeah, it's a big challenge to put together a cohesive, fiscally efficient plan.
And I think the challenge is, it'd be hard, but the challenge is that we lay all of our personal prejudices aside and identify what's best for Delaware County constituency. And I would challenge each group to do that. And I think that's the reason I'm asking that the boards identify that person, so that they have an opportunity to have a conversation within their organizations about identifying the right person for that and within their perspective.
Sure.
So,
And I
Great
know with Morpsey, they have a study going on right now as far as transportation for those with disabilities. And so, and of course, their expertise in transportation, so they would be a really good member. And we have a member from our Economic Development Department too, on the data
Yeah.
board.
Right. Right.
So, which is, yeah, those are good suggestions.
okay,
Yeah.
so we'll see where it leads.
I have one more thing
Okay.
that I just remembered. I think we wrote a letter to the governor asking his support for indigent defense. And so he may not be watching this morning, so I think it's a good idea if we write a letter thanking him and Lieutenant Governor Husted for their support. It
So-
still has to get through the legislature, but it's, having the governor's support is huge.
So why don't we direct Mike Fromer to get with Jane and
Okay,
author a letter that we can look at Thursday.
okay, great,
Okay.
thank you.
The only other thing I have, and it's just a statement, and our federal government's about to approve a $1.9 million stimulus package.
You said
I'm sorry,
You said million, it's trillion.
I said, well, I thought I said trillion, but I think I said, well, if I didn't say it, I meant trillion. You know, we also heard our president last week talk about the disappointing employment numbers. I would also like for our president to think about the fact when you cancel a pipeline, it creates jobs and related jobs. When you stop the border wall and the jobs that are affected by that, and all the other things that we are doing for, I believe, political reasons rather than what's good for this country, and then you complain about the lack of growth in the economy and only 49,000 jobs being created, they are related. And the stimulus of 1.9 trillion, which is made up of a lot of dollars going outside this country, so you can hardly call them stimulus dollars for the benefit of this country when a great many of those dollars are leaving this country for other, I'm going to call them political purposes. It's disappointing, and it's a shame that we cannot get our act together and work together in Congress for the benefit of the American citizens. And we should be trying to create jobs right now, not destroy jobs. And I feel compelled to say that this morning, and the idea of unity, we're doing everything but unifying in this country at this point in time, and that's disappointing. That's all I have. Any other comments? I understand we have need for executive session.
We do. Resolution number 21-100, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of pending or imminent litigation.
So move.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion? Vote?
Vote on motion 21-100. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.